Hey there, so today I want to return to Glassdoor, and today I want to talk about Diamond Comics. Now, if you don't know about Glassdoor, it is a review site that basically lets you look at criticisms and critiques of companies from people that let the gloss and the veneer slip aside, because many of them, they'll review a company when they're mad. Now, is this the perfect way to look at a company? Not at all, but sometimes you find out secrets about that place when looking at them this way. In fact, Danny Agent 87 recommended checking this out. I hadn't really thought about looking at Diamond Comics, so kudos with that. Good form. You know, we've looked at Marvel, DC, IDW, and on. And this, well, Diamond Comics, they are the publishing game. If you wonder about that, how did Diamond get so big? Look up the 90s. Look up Marvel and the way that they basically accidentally created a monopoly for Diamond. And, well, Diamond in this game, if you look at some of the criticisms out there, there are plenty. But anyway, let's look at this. So when you're looking at the scores for it, overall, they're going to net a 2.6 out of 5 stars. 38% recommend to friends. 31% approve of the CEO here. You can see some positives starting out right off the bat. I started as the shipping supervisor and has climbed the corporate ladder to become the pick manager. So you have a positive review there. Actually, a solid one. Here's a 3 out of 5. Retailer service representative doesn't recommend that you work there. They've worked there for more than 10 years. The pros, well, discounts on comics and merchandise, fair benefits. Cons, micromanaging from UMT, rude accounts, overloaded with work. Sounds like fun there. General office job, another 3 out of 5. They do recommend. They have a positive outlook. No opinion of CEO. They've been there less than a year. The pros, relaxed office environment. Has a lot of casual days. Sits schedule with a lot of wiggle room. Cons, cubicle with little to no communication or mingling between departments aside from email. You can email the same person nearly every day and have no idea that you just passed that person in the hall. Work is repetitive and can be boring, pays too little. Advice to management, and you'll see a lot of advice to management. If there is a standard general employees should be adhering to, don't let managers slide for not doing so. Here's a not bad. They recommend with a negative outlook. No opinion of CEO. Pros, good discount, free comics, okay atmosphere, people are nice and helpful. Cons, outdated systems and no drive to make it better. Now there's a problem if you're talking about outdated systems. And one of those things that you will see if you go and look at other sites, they talk about the way that their technology is outmoded. And maybe that's why you have a lot of the problems that you run into. Here's another. Diamond needs to modernize. Doesn't recommend, neutral outlook, disapproves of CEO. Pros, fun industry, upper management for the most part is nice and helpful, product discount. Con, very poor salary, non-existent CEO, inexperienced co-workers who have no training, web systems are outdated. Advice to management, hire people and pay them well too, who are talented and driven first and get them involved in the industry. Some employees seem more focused on their own personal comic-related projects than their work. That's a very interesting note there too. Going and working there so you can get distribution already handled because you know the right people. Continuing on here, a Diamond should be able to attract top-tier employees, but they seem to refuse to update their mindset and their pay scale past the 90s. Of course, they don't really have to. Because again, they're the monopoly on this. Low job satisfaction, 2 out of 5. I worked at Diamond full-time, doesn't say how long. Pros, not much to write. Cons, low pay, not competitive. 2 out of 5 again. Cool factor isn't enough in the scheme of things. Doesn't recommend, neutral outlook, disapproves of CEO. Pros, product discount. Coworkers are great for the most part there. Fun nature of the product, travel, interaction with retailer accounts. Cons, poor pay for most workers. Negative company culture. Unbalanced workloads to lower level staff. Old-fashioned website systems and and resistance to update and modernization. Again, see that over and over again. Transparent CEO. Petty rules regarding clothing, hair, snow days, etc. Little improvement in warehouse despite upgrades. Advice to management. Hire people that have fire under them for comic culture and pay them and treat them well. Pay warehouse workers more. Pay everyone that isn't upper management more. Don't keep employees in the dark regarding the status of the industry. Diamond is not as untouchable as it thinks. There is something right there that is true as well. Management acts as though there's a cool factor in working at Diamond that allows it to be demanding while still paying poorly, which is why fitting workers don't stick around. Update your website systems and be relevant, so you can see that stuff there. Also, maybe Steve Jeppy shouldn't give out toys modeled after himself at the company anniversary gift. That would be very odd, wouldn't it? Getting toys that are modeled after the CEO of a company. Hey, let me give you a toy. Hey, it looks just like me. Yeah, that says a lot there. Continuing on. 2 out of 5. Bad place to work for such a fun industry. Pros, great discount, ton of free stuff. Products are very interesting and fun. Cons, never-ending problems at the warehouse, especially Olive Branch. You will battle back orders. Tuesday and Wednesday's nightmares. Very high volumes of accounts calling and emailing to shortages and damages. That is a huge, huge issue with them. And they have not improved this kind of stuff. I've always found that to be really interesting, that they don't improve even though they have that. Marvel is a nightmare to work with. They require crazy requirements to get books, and customers get very upset and angry about it. Hell, it tells you a lot about that. That is actually something you can read up more on as well. Go and look that up. Look at the just insane things that Marvel wants from when they say customers, they're talking about local comic shops. Go and look up exactly what's said about that. Hard to move up in company unless you're a favorite. Advice to management. Find best employees possible for Olive Branch. Otherwise, that warehouse will never change. Tell Marvel to hire a customer service team to handle questions regarding variant qualifiers, a hotline even. Too many of your own workers are stressed out about this publisher's products. Ditch the wait reports, or at least cut the shortages and do it later. You don't trust your accounts, yet you're the one shorting them on a weekly basis. That's terrible. My final advice is to treat your CS employees fairly. You give the reps way too much work. It's overwhelming and extremely stressful at times, even for seasoned employees. Way too many people come and go. Something big needs to change in your CS department, possibly management. Here's a 4 out of 5 here. They give quite a few positives within that. Their con really is just the commission could have been better. Here's a 1 out of 5. Picker doesn't recommend. Negative outlook. Disapproves of CEO. Pros, none worse. Underpaid job, more like slavery. Wow. None whatsoever. Worst place to work. Spend more money on the business. That's hard to read there. None whatsoever. Basically it sounds like more like everything is a con instead of everything is a positive, the way that they've worded that. Great entry-level job. So this person recommends it as a entry-level job, because low pay, irate customers, lack of recognition for work. Here's a 4 out of 5. Worked on general assembly line. So they said everything was nice and fair. Didn't get enough breaks. At all. Breaks, BRAKES. All right. Not worth it. Wow. Doesn't recommend. Neutral outlook, no opinion on CEO. Free comics, hour-long lunch, some downtime. There's a 20-word minimum on pros, and I honestly can't think of anything else good to say about working here. So they just put in some other stuff. Cons, too much work to get done in a small time frame. Low pay, not worth the stress. Training was fine until you're on your own. Felt like management talks down to you when you continue to ask questions or make mistakes. Can't use discount until after probationary period if you survive that long. 4 people quit within a month. Also, not a whole lot of vacation time. Wednesdays are the craziest and busy days, and of course, those are the days they pile on projects to have you complete as well. Like I said, too much stress, not worth it. Don't give one person the workload of 2 at such little pay. So you can see this thing reflected again and again. Okay, entry level, but definitely not for everyone. Doesn't recommend, neutral, no opinion of CEO. Worked there for over 5 years. Pros, Monday through Friday, holidays off. Coworkers are great, plus free access to comics and products from time to time. Cons, it can get pretty demoralizing when you're dealing with an irate account or problem for a distribution warehouse messing up shipments, which seems to happen on a weekly basis. The company seems disorganized, and it seems like they focused more on short-term rather than long-term solutions, because they don't have to. They don't have to focus on anything, making anything better. It feels like management treats their employees if they're expendable, and there doesn't seem to be that much good support system other than team leaders or coworkers in the department. If you make a mistake, management looks to focus more on what you did wrong with little or no help on how to fix the problem. Job is stressful enough when you're dealing with angry accounts, but it's worse when you feel like any little mistake could lead to a write-up or termination. Man, been there in jobs before. Receiving, 3 out of 5 here. Recommends positive outlook. They say it's awesome industry. The cons are the pays on the low side, advancements a little bit low there. Rethink the organization chart and really invest in logistics technology. A lot of outmoded technology comments. So you get a feel. You get a feel exactly what's here, the overview and whatnot of the company. You have a lot of talk about organization, structure, and on. Pay. It seems like everything within comics talks about how low the pay is, how low that scale is. And of course, if people want to go out and they want to basically derail the conversation within comic book companies themselves, that's been derailed by saying anybody that talks about that, they're talking about ist, or they're talking about phobe and on. And of course, you continue to have monopolies like this, or really monopolies like a Marvel, if you want to look at it on the comic side, because they control over 40% of the market share, so you're talking about a huge company there as well. This is a true monopoly, though, not really just setting up as the lion's share of something and controlling it with a trickle-down effect, but it controls it all. But anyhow, I would encourage people to go out and check this kind of stuff out, because it just continues on, and it gives you a feel for some of the things behind closed doors, like working there, seeing the actual problems within this kind of stuff. I mean, you're talking about, again, warehousing and distribution, but when you talk about their new trials for advancement and on, those things, they're not added to completely overhaul infrastructure. They've done that to try to charge local comic shops more. If you look at some of the things that were thrown out about technological advancement, you had to pay for that. You have to pay for them modernizing, because again, they control the industry. Diamond controls everything. And when you look at this kind of problem, maybe the problems aren't simply problems that are out there within industry. Maybe they're within infrastructure of, again, getting products, maintaining solid relationships. I mean, you're talking about an entire industry that needs an overhaul or else. But anyhow, you tell me what you think about this. Also, if you like this kind of content, please consider supporting the channel. Make sure to do those kind of things. It definitely helps out. We're closing in on 12,000 subs. I definitely appreciate that. Also, when we talk about this stuff, leave comments. Let me know what you think about this kind of thing. Let me know also if you have stories about this. I'd be interested in seeing that. Also, as moving forward, if you want to help out, if you want to support the channel, there are a few ways to do so. There are links within the description, but make sure that you turn out for daily content, because I try to bring more. But anyhow, like I say, leave comments, and as always, thank you for showing up. I appreciate it.